Good evening, everyone. So I will be discussing the case of acquired abducens nerve palsy. A little bit brief about the most common cause of ischemic, that is diabetes mellitus. It has a varied presentation at difficult times of onset. One of the uncommon presentation in cranial nerve palsy secondary to microvascular ischemia. Approximately 20% of isolated abducens nerve palsies are secondary to vascular microangiopathy. Isolated abducens nerve palsy is most common form of cranial nerve palsy that is encountered in neuro-ophthalmic clinic. There can be some other causes like idiopathic or due to secondary head trauma or raised intracranial tension because of any intracranial space occupying lesions, vascular diseases, inflammatory and demyelinating conditions. Coming to my case, this is a case of 43 years old male presented to emergency with the complaint of double vision since 2 weeks, which worsens on right gaze. The patient had blurry vision and double vision in right gaze. That resolves with closing either eye. He has also developed headache during that period. He is diabetic for 20 years. He is non-hypertensive. There is no any other systemic illness. There is no any similar episode of illness in the past. It is not associated with limb weakness or there is no any history of head or ocular trauma. There is no cerebrovascular accident, no altered sensorium. Patient is tobacco chewer for 15 years. He is non-alcoholic, non-smoker with normal bladder bowel habits. Cognition is appropriate for age. Best corrected visual acuity is 6.6, both the eyes, and 6 for near. Palpebral aperture within normal limit. There is no ptosis. Eyeball position, there is right eye esotropia. Extraocular movements, right eye. There is limitation in abduction. Left eye, it is free and full. Pupils were equal, normosensitive, normoreactive. There is no abnormal head posture. Bales is good, corneal sensation intact, both the eyes. Fundus is within normal limit. There is no papilledema. IOP is 14 millimeters of mercury, both the eyes. There is no other cranial nerve functions. Other cranial nerve functions are intact. This is the image showing 9 gaze. There is limitation of abduction in right eye. On investigation, blood pressure 126 by 78. Blood glucose level was raised up to 305 milligrams per deciliter. HbA1c was found to be 12.3%, which was very significantly high. And other parameters, CBC, lipid profile, homocysteine level were also done, which were found to be normal. CT head and angiography were performed and were unremarkable. Other imagings were not significant, and patient was scheduled for OPD follow-up. Diagnosis, this is the case of acute isolated right-sided abducens cranial nerve palsy, which was most likely owing to microvascular ischemia from previously diagnosed diabetes mellitus. Concluding the case, this is infrequent presentation and diagnosis is usually delayed with the expense of ordering costly investigations. Thus, awareness that, when encountering such cases of isolated cranial nerve palsy is needed. Most of the cases get spontaneously resolved in the course of 3 to 4 months with a good control on blood sugar level. Thank you.
When would you like to investigate sixth nerve palsy in a lot more detail, like doing MRI, etc.? When would you like to do it?
Sir, so when according to the age group of the patient, and when we are suspecting any other etiology, like if it is because of trauma, then we need to investigate neurologically.
Okay, that you can get the history itself tells you whether it is traumatic sixth nerve or not. So you want to investigate more. You don't know whether what else could be the cause of the sixth nerve palsy. Here you accidentally found the sugar was high and you realized that you thought that this is related to diabetes, which may not necessarily be.
So other than ischemic causes, then we need to investigate properly.
No. Would you like to take into consideration the recovery period as an important clue
Yes,
to
sir.
your diagnosis?
Yes, sir.
What is that recovery period you look at?
So 6 months. 6 months.
6 months is too long.
4 to 6
6
months.
weeks should be more than enough.
Okay.
If in 6 weeks it does not resolve, it's probably investigatable sixth nerve palsy.
And see, sixth nerve palsy is something which we can't take lightly in most of the cases.
Yes, if the
The
fundus is normal and
yes,
recovery is fast,
then it's okay. But
then it's
and
okay.
one more thing which you should always remember is that sixth nerve is one of the nerves which is passing through the cavernous sinus. So involvement of other cranial nerves,
Yes.
especially the third, fourth, and the fifth, which are lying in the cavernous sinus lateral wall,
Yes,
should
ma'am.
warrant an imaging as urgent as possible.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am. Yes,
and
ma'am.
fundus evaluation is a must in all the OPD cases, but it is a must in sixth nerve palsy.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
disc edema you should not neglect. Okay, so sixth nerve
And these
palsy.
are the other features which I was looking
Yes.
for, in the sense that when you want to investigate sixth nerve palsy, apart from the fact that it recovers within 6 weeks, if the other features are there, you will investigate even more earlier than 6 weeks.
And one more thing, that your patient was a heavily diabetic patient, like HbA1c being 12.3, and you know that the patient is a known diabetic. See, there was a surge of mucormycosis cases, if you remember, 4 years back. Okay, so mucormycosis is something which is not very uncommon in these type of patients who are uncontrolled diabetic. And sixth nerve palsy can be the first presentation sometimes in these
Okay.
cases.
Yes,
So yes, you sometimes need to investigate sixth nerve palsy much more in detail if the recovery, as sir told, is not as per it has to be, right?
Yes, ma'am.